We're on. Okay. Welcome back. I am Tky619. Back again. This time with the first in the Zero series, Blaster Master 01, doing an EX character Gunvolt run. So pretty much with this category, it's going to be like any normal playthrough, except it's going to change the main character of Jason with Gunvolt. So I'm going to have a few perks to my advantage, a few not so much, but hopefully things will go well. Just get Gunvolt selected and going. I'm going to select my slot. Right, so the timer actually doesn't begin until I gain movement of the tank. So I'll hit OK, we'll begin, and I'll try and shout go at roughly the right time for when to start the timer. So let's get booted. Alright, ready? Go! Alright, so this is, as I say, Blaster Master 01. The game comes in two varieties, it comes in two different sections. Tank sections, which are like this as such, and then we've got character sections that are going to be coming up. That's going to be taking more of an overhead view, whereas the tank section will take more of a side-scrolling action. Now, you can actually come out of the tank whilst in tank sections, so there is that as well. Just to note as well, with Gunvolt, he does have few specific abilities that are tied to him, such as phasing damage. Oh, phased a little bit too much there, but it's fine. But his special meter works with this phasing ability as well as with his main offense, and it's shared between the pair. Now, to compensate for this, his defense is actually weaker than other characters, so if you run out of meter and allow Gunvolt to take a lot of damage, well, let's just say it's pretty much going to be GG. Right, so here we are in the first character section, so not much really to talk about within this section with Gunvolt. We're just going to pretty much follow the line as best as we can. His main ability is to tag an enemy with those little bolts. What else they do actually isn't a major. The bolts themselves are not very powerful. However, when you tag an enemy, you're available to use these electrical shots, which will home in specifically on whatever enemies that are currently tagged. He also has a special meter, other special meter that you saw me use to break down that bit of wall just. He's got SP1 power with that little orb. And there's one other one that I will be using in the run, but for now we are at our first opening boss. This is the Forest Destroyer Mother Brain. So pretty much I'm going to get in her face to start with. I'm just going to wait until she becomes at least vulnerable enough for me to hit. Throw out one of these orbs. Now I'm going to tag it, go straight into electrocute, and I'm going to get myself into a position, drop another one in, and I'm going to hopefully manipulate her to come into the direction that I want her to go. And that's pretty much GG on that. Right, one boss down. And that's going to get us our first upgrade, the Hyper Shot. That's going to up the damage on our tank for both the cannon shots and for the missile shots, which is the sub-weapon ability that the tank has. I will not actually be picking up any like additional sub-weapons for this game. It was just certain maneuver upgrades throughout the run. Right, so now we have the level 2. We can actually make our way over to area 2. So we needed the upgraded ability to be able to take down that face wall there. Hopefully fall down the side real nice. Nope, not so nice. So I'm unfortunately going to take a hit there. And now we're into area 2. Right, area 2 is it takes a little more of an industrial theme aspect. Now, the thing with area 2, normally you're supposed to keep going up and around, back and forth, left and right, as such. But they seem to program some of the EX characters' abilities or weapons to be able to break these little blocks that you're supposed to have the level 3 Crusher Shot for, which is obtained near the end of this arena. Another advantage that the characters have, or the EX characters have, is to be able to call the tank to your specific location, which specifically with Gunvolt will be used in quite a number of areas, just to speed things up. And as of that, because we don't need the Crusher Shot specifically for anything throughout the course of this entire run, I will actually be skipping it out and just going straight over and into area 3. Unfortunately, it means I have to keep jumping in and out of my tank just to ensure that I can actually destroy the blocks to actually progress. Oh, get in the tank, please. Alright, so area 3 has a bit of a gimmick to it with these conveyor belts. And they come in two varieties. We have the purple that go one way, green that goes in another. We also have some other conveyors that are going to be coming that are operated manually to open up a few shutters, which also comes in 2 different varieties. The first that we'll come across. Oh, hello. Oh my! Oh, I don't know how to curve. Right, so the first we're coming up to is the green conveyors. These you have to open up all the way to lock it into position. The yellow variety you can open up. You don't have to open up all the way, but they will slowly shut down. So we'll open it up. Shoot it a bit. Oh, missed my shot there. So we open it up to a certain degree, and then I'm just going to pretty much put some shots into it just to stall it enough to let me to get through and not have to open up all the way. There are a few exceptions, like this one. I'll open up all the way. Be able to cut all the way down, around, and about. Right. So this room in particular can get troublesome if you make a mistake in it. If you get things right first try, then usually you could get through without much trouble, but if you end up getting hit by something, you could get mauled pretty badly. Right, so more conveyors coming up. Alright. We're getting there. Oh. I failed to jump. Alright, so in the next room, there's a yellow pad that will push down multiple yellow pads. Now this is going to be a very good instance of using Gunvolt's specific abilities to his advantage, as he has an ability to do a wall jump, which enables him to climb all the way up this side, uses electrical field to break down blocks we're not supposed to, and even to hold that up long enough so he can reach a higher platform and just skip out a good number of seconds within that bit. Oh. Just want to be safe and make sure that goes down. So this is where we get a bit of a risk factor come into this run. On the safe pad just before the boss I'm coming up to now, and I don't want to hit that safe pad specifically to be able to save a lot on backtracking. So if I take a death on this boss, it will mean I'm going to have to redo Area 3, so I'm hoping that doesn't become the case. So welcome to Central Gear. This boss is essentially RNG. He has like one of 6 patterns he can do at the start, and then after that, it's completely all over the place. So here's hoping. Not the pattern I'd want, but I can work with that. Alright, we should be able to take him down here. Ah, missed! I missed! I'm a bad shot! There we go. We could have took him down in 2. Unfortunately, I missed my angle. Right, so now, here's where things get a little interesting. I'm actually going to save within the game itself, and I'm going to return back to the game menu. So, it's the reason why I didn't hit the save pad, because this will now take me back to the last entrance I last entered, which happened to be the beginning of Area 3. So now we can start backtracking and making our way through Areas 2 and 1 so we can enter Area 4. So, we only use this ability. Unfortunately, we can only use this ability in 2 parts of this run. Otherwise, it would be nice to have it throughout to save on a good amount of backtracking. So, pretty much from this point, just get back through Area 2, and then back into Area 1. The ability I got at that boss was the hover ability. That will use my special meter as well, but that enables me to essentially hover, which we need to actually be able to reach the heights required to enter Area 4. So once again, got Gunvolt doing his little thing. We will call the tank back to our location at this point. It turns out there's just certain things, because of leaving certain upgrades behind, it's just faster just to basically move forward with Gunvolt for quite a bit and then call the tank back to your location rather than keep going back and forth. I tried to collect that ability for some reason, I do not know why. Alright, so back into Area 1. Just going to space my hovers as best as I can, just to try and conserve on my meter, so it'll give me enough meter within the run itself to be able to reach where I'm after. So yeah, the first instance of really using hover first section that we really need it to. Alright. Just a little low on health, so I may consider taking a retry soon. Ooh. Alright. We're good, we're alive. Right, so I want to see my meter about 3 or 4 bars just before I start this room. That's going to let me know that I'm going to be able to skip just one little platform when I start to make my ascent. Oh, wow. Alright, just pulled back there. Unfortunately, I got a bit of a slowdown there and knocked off, but it's fine. Recovered. And a bit of health drops there. That should make me feel a little bit better. So now we can now we're up here, we can start to curve around. Oh, we could curve around if I was a better player. But now we're back into we're now into area 4. Sorry, this takes on a more of a sewer theme, and this is one of the areas I'd probably say where knowledge of the layout of the map and enemy placements is pretty vital. So, because there's going to be, it's basically going to go into a bit of a maze-ish type segment that we need, that pretty much need to maneuver around in order to get where we are. I'm going to take a slight detour away to hit this save pad in particular, because once we take out the boss of this arena, we're going to be doing a return to menu thing once again in order to save time on backtracking. That'll set us up ready for moving on forward. Just know your positions, as I say, to take out these enemies, know where to fire your missiles so you can not get mauled over. Alright, jump, little bit of a curve. Alright, so far so good. So this is where the memorization really starts to kick in. So for example, we get onto this platform, fire a couple of shots, take out the bee that's going to be floating in the way. Once I fall down here, I'm going to start my hover, but I want to get low enough to get underneath those flies and reach up over here onto these platforms. A couple of shots over there, take out that fly and into the water. Now, unfortunately, my tank cannot deal the damage that I need to this little bit of sewage brick in there, so quickly jump out the tank and we're pretty much good. Yeah. Alright, so just don't hit any save pads along the way. That's the other thing we need to keep in mind, because we want to take the save in the game and return to the menu. If we hit any other save pad, that will basically ruin it. Let's just be sure we're going to be okay. Alright. Come over here, got an enemy there, just pop him off. I'm going to do sort of a mid-jump, 1, 2, 3 shots. That should take out all 3 flies. And that is pretty much the majority of Area 4 done. We are just left with the boss of the arena, Ribby Roll. Big Froggy. Pretty much that's the gist of it. Now, there's a couple of things he can do, but more times than not, he'll usually stay in your spot where you can pretty much just get in his face and unload. Because I've got a weaker offense in general, it is going to take a bit long. He may do a few hops over me. Hopefully, it goes a bit smoothly. Yeah, nice. Good fight. Sorry if I hit my water off the mic. Just dry mouth. Alright, so that's give us the key to get into Area 5. Once again, save, return to the menu, and back into the save file. Right, as mentioned, that's going to take back to the save pad that I hit a moment ago. Now we're going to leave the tank behind for a little bit, and we're just going to use Gunvolt, because Area 5 is basically this game's water arena. So, quite a bit of a problem with a big giant tank which cannot swim or cannot maneuver under the water until you get its required upgrade, the dive gear. However, because we're using Gunvolt, and because of his particular abilities, we actually do not need to get dive gear either. So, just like Area 2, we're able to just bypass Area 5 and just go straight into Area 6. So we're just taking the shortcut around all of this lot here. Now it's going to look a bit scary with a lot of bullets, but thanks to the Gunvolt's phasing, we'll be able to get through and not actually take any physical damage to him. Alright, so upcoming into Area 6, this is the ice planet, or the ice arena, pretty much. Call our tank to our position. Now, I will, it is from this point on, although I will be calling the tank to certain locations from time to time, the tank is not going to be used as much as Gunvolt himself. And that's pretty much because of the crusher shot that I left behind back in Area 2. It's just quicker for Gunvolt to run alone than it is to actually keep running with the tank, jumping out, breaking the blocks, and so on and so forth. The blocks actually currently do not exist. Up until this precise moment, I do that. And we do need to do that to even progress through. Alright. So, just call the tank back to me for this section. So, just need it just for this part, or just for this room. And then you'll see why. Because, as mentioned, the current cannon shot cannot destroy blocks. There's a lot of blocks here, so it's just easier to use Gunvolt. And just knowing roughly where to jump and where to space my phasing, or my phasing ability, so I don't drain out my weapon energy too quickly, is always optimal. So, like for example, for this one, but if I jump straight away going up that left side, that thing is going to get in my way. So I'm actually going to intentionally delay a bit, just so I can jump and phase through him without him end up just clustering me and hitting me. Because if you're using your electric field whilst trying to go through an enemy, it just won't work. You'll just end up taking damage. Alright, so we're pretty much through the bulk of Area 6. My health is full. As a backup, usually, if you do take a bit of damage, you can call your tank to this location. You won't actually lose any time for it, but jumping in and out of the tank actually replenishes Gunvolt's health. So, and this is why we don't need the Crusher Shot also as well, because of Gunvolt's electrical field, he could do his wall jump and actually use his electrical field to break blocks that are above him, completely skipping out of about roughly half of what Area 6 has to offer itself. We're now into the character section. Pretty much just ice physics all over the floor, phasing through these bits of spikes. I'm going to pick up just a bit of health and whatnot as I go through. Oh, hello. Took a little hit there. Thankfully, there's a health there. So, I'm going to go a bit quiet on this boss fight. This boss fight has quite a few RNG elements. There's two ways of going about it. I'm going to be going via a risky method, which is going to put me into the line of fire quite a bit. There's a good chance that I may take a death here, but obviously thanks to the save pad there, we'll still be able to continue. So far this is going pretty well. Pretty much one of the key things to do in this fight in this particular way is to try and save your special ability electrical orb primarily for the red orbs as they take more damage to take down. Wakey wakey. Okay, at least we survived it. I felt like I was a bit sluggish there, but it might have been better than I thought. So, job's a good one, as now we'll get our final upgrade, the wall climb. This is going to allow the tank to climb up the walls. But for now, we're not going to be using the tank. Gunvolt can get around quickly quite nicely. And now this is where we got quite a bit of backtracking to go. So, we're literally going back from Area 6 through to Area 5. That'll get us back to Area 4. To get back into Area 1 to Area 2 and finally Area 3, where we can finally access Area 7 and the final two areas of the game. So, unfortunately, not much I can really talk about. If there's anyone, I don't know if anyone's on my couch at this point, if there's anything they'd like to talk about, by all means. Yeah, there is. He's right there. Hey, there. Anything you'd like to talk about? Nice ice blocks. Is there any donations that have come through that we got? We can talk and let us know, maybe. Please. There's so much backtracking. We can't use the same strategy, unfortunately. Oh, Okay, I wasn't expected to miss him, but it all went well. And the man behind the desk just come out nodding his head going, no. So now, we have silence. Hope you all can enjoy. Sit back, relax, and enjoy my silky voice telling you that there's now going to be nothing but silence. Oh, I better not continue making like singing noises. They'll probably have a few eardrums pop there. And yeah, that's not going to go down well. Oh, coming down. Excuse me, pardon me, coming through. Okay, just want to take this little air current here. Well, air current, sorry, water current just to push myself forward a little bit quicker. We're getting there. Area 7's coming, I promise. Hey, back into Area 4. This is pretty much the point where the tank is going to be called back to me. Or I'm going to call the tank back to my location. And now we can at least speed it a bit. The tank is of course faster than running with Gunvolt in general, but because, as mentioned, two particular upgrades that I've left behind for the sake of saving time, it makes certain other sections feel longer, but over the course of the entirety of the run, it ends up being much quicker. But now we get some tank action, and we'll get first instance of where I generally use the wall climb. So, pretty much just wall climb up the wall. Just makes it easier to avoid those flies. Take a missile here, and now we're back into Area 1. And hello and welcome to Blaster Master Zero, ES Gunvolt%. I am Tky619, as we're now going to just restart the run, as it just seems like it feels like it, as we're right back here. Hey, hello enemy. I forgot about you because I was trying to be funny. It clearly failed. Here we go. Oh, so yeah, there's only slight differences with Area 1 coming back in. Pretty much just using the hover to the best of your ability just to snip bits and pieces. This is clearly not how you use that ability. But there we go. Nice energy drop there. Maybe we can get the flush drop this time round. Hey, we got it the second try. Thank you. Right, back into Area 2. This is basically going to be done no different to how I did this room the first time I entered Area 2. So, repeat! Or rerun. I don't know. What's on to me? Come on, thumb. My thumb hit the wrong button there. Actually, why am I doing that? I've got hover. Some things are different, but because I said some things are the same, I kind of did the same strategies. Whoopsie daisies. Alright, so when we get into Area 3, the opening's going to start the same, but there's going to be a point where when I open up the first yellow door, or the yellow shutter, I'm going to be then going straight over to the left, which is going to be the access point to Area 7, and that's where things are going to get tricky. So we've got two areas that will be left, Area 7 and Area 8, two of the most difficult areas of the game. Area 7 is essentially your stealth area, but because being stealthy is slow, you know, we're pretty much just going to not be stealthy. I'd rather get through at speed if I can. But yeah, one of the main parts of those stealth areas will be these turrets that will be on the roof. Well, not turrets, sorry. There'll be something on the roof that has a searchlight on it. We'll activate it on purpose and basically destroy the enemies that they drop. Where we just continue on with our run. I'm sorry, I know I'm getting ahead of myself there, but I just really weren't sure what else to talk about with the bit of backtracking. But we are basically here. Welcome to Area 7. To the depths of hell we go. Oh, sorry Gunvolt, I wasn't meant to put you on that platform. Unfortunately, Gunvolt is very slow at crawling. But as I say, this area is primarily a stealth section, although we're not going to be pretty much just going to be ignoring them. One of the enemy types are these guys that suffer from Metal Gear Solid 1 vision. Poor fellas. You can only see in cone. And as mentioned, in the next room I'll come up to, there's going to be this roof turret. If I get my jump right, I'll be able to destroy the enemies pretty much in one swoop as they deploy them. There we go, nicely done. So the searchlight will trigger, activate, and they'll try and hunt me down, or it'll lock me in the room, sorry. And then there'll be a bunch of like slugs that will pop out. Bit tricky when your weapon power is weaker than intended, but yeah. So pretty much as long as I get, oh, I missed! Run, Gunvolt, run! Please, weapon energy, thank you. Oh, okay, that was a little scary there for a moment. But it's alright, so we are going to leave the tank behind for a little bit, because again, we've got all these blocks. Gunvolt's electrical field does this section pretty well. And we now have a party of Metal Gear Solid 1 vision sufferers. I'm just going to ignore them. Jump over there. Oh, you can actually run through them, it'll be fine. Have a delay there, I'm not going to trigger that searchlight, it's just a little bit quicker just to wait. And then we've got another searchlight there, I'm just going to take this ladder, cut down through, call the tank back. And then we're going to come up to a room where I want to keep running forward as much as I can. If I miss any enemies or get hit by anything, that's going to change the sequence of where the searchlights are going to be. So I'm going to hopefully not mess up anything. Okay, good so far. Should not keeps me in cycle for these searchlights. It'll end up just activating that one. Not probably a little bit of a mess up there at the end, but to be fair, very good Area 7 overall. As we're going to be coming up to the character section for Area 7, which is again a stealth area, except we're going to take the stealth a little more seriously, because the enemies in there, although their bodies don't hurt as much as their guns can really obliterate you, and in Gunvolt's case, probably one or two bullets, well, probably 2 bullets and he's done. So we're going to respect the guards in this case. So just make sure to go at the side of him, keep up the top, and then there we go. Right, so past that, delay with him. Right, once I get past this guard here, then I'm just going to go for it, because I should only take 3 hits at the most, or 4 in this case. Ah, run away! Alright, we're safe. So here we come up to Area 7's boss. It is a tank boss, despite the fact I don't have my tank. I will be calling the tank back here, but unfortunately I can't do it by the method that I've been doing. I have to call it back through through legit means. I somehow missed my mouth there. Bad. So, skeleton boss. He can just spit out some rocks, he can fire off a big electrical orb thing. Once we get the tank, we're basically going to be getting right in front of his face and just completely unload him. Right, there's me tank. No, I'd rather you not hit me. Alright, down. Now we're into the final area of the game, Area 8. This area can get very, very awkward very quickly. Enemies could really maul you, so there may be a bit more of a sort of quiet moments as I go through it, because, yeah, as I say, this area can completely annihilate you if it wants to. Alright, so far we are off to the races. Alright, never mind. We'll just delay here a moment. Alright, that'll do. Yeah, just trying to work with my phase meter there in order to keep what energy weapons I have, so right at the end I was able to phase through those spikes. I unfortunately took an additional hit than I would have liked, so we had to just settle with that. Alright, so the good thing is it'll be calling my tank back to me on the odd occasion, so even if I take a number of hits with Gunvolt, I should be able to get back in the tank and regenerate. Oh, I slipped. Ah! Well, scary time! Alright, add a special meter, so gotta watch out with jump precision. Yeah, meter like consumption, how you work with it throughout the course of this run is important. Very much so when it comes to this area. Alright, so thankfully with Gunvolt I can take the quicker route. There's 2 stages you can go. You go right side or left side. Right side has a lot less enemies in it, but because of Gunvolt's phasing through ability, getting through here isn't so bad. Try doing it with either a character or the tank. Fair play to you, because it is really not an easy section to get through. Okay, so just got a little more swimming to do. And then we'll be back in the tank for the majority, of the majority of the tank section at least. Tap, tap, tap. Okay, good. That gets around them. Now we've got a bunch of bees that are going to be in my way. Hopefully, I've just got to be a bit cautious because the special meter is low. So I'm just trying to... Oh, my days. I can't jump properly. Okay, I'll just scare like a little girl for no reason whatsoever. Alright, that was a nice drop. So we're into our second to last character section arena. So pretty much just running through phase and using my electrical ability on these red things. Being able to do that just actually stuns the red orb into place. So it just saves me taking as much damage or phase damage going through. So let me come across here. So as I say, there'll be some phase damage that'll be intentional, and then I just have to do sort of like a pull back and forth just to trigger these enemies so I don't end up taking too much damage. Just for safety, we'll hit the save pad here. And now we come up against whatever this guy's name is, antibody cell? I think it's antibody cell. Yeah, that's the one. So I'm going to be using one ability first just to break his shields through. Then we're going to just want to hopefully keep him on a bit of a pattern. So once we get that down, orb please. There we go. Drop the orb down. Want to keep him in. Oh my god, I can't aim. Okay, this fight may go a bit awkward. I just want to maneuver him around. He's going to hopefully come back into this orb. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't aim there, so thankfully he took the safety save in. But pretty much you want to take him down before he gets his second shield up. Alright, that's better. Here we go. I actually figured it out. Right, so come over here, we manipulate him over, get the next orb out, curve around him, he'll bounce back up if he ever gets to the wall. But luckily, got him actually pretty optimally in that time round. Wish I did it the first time. But antibody cell down. We now have our final key. We can start to make our way to the final part of the run. Oh, and a full hell drop. Hell drop. Just to top us off if I needed it. I wasn't too sure if I did or not, but we just got this final stretch, one last bit of tank section before I leave that behind, and then we'll be down to just Gunvolt and the final area with the final two bosses to boot. Okay, there we go, we're in. So this is the final character section. Again, you have two doors to choose from, left or right. If you go in the correct door, you enter the next room applicable. If you select the wrong door, you end up in a mini boss fight. You may notice I'm constantly going through the left door, because as it turns out, every door is left except for the final door, which just so happens to be right. So we've got two bosses left to do before it is time. Final hit, sorry. Time will be on the final hit of the second boss fight. So I'm going to be trying with this fight to use the electrical orb, and I'm going to keep trying to get behind him to keep him in that electrical field as much as I can. Alright, that was a good fight. Right, so here comes the Underlord, the Overlord, sorry. Final boss time will be, as I say, on the final hit of this fight. There's 4 color patterns he can take throughout the fight. With Gunvolt, it can be a little awkward depending on which one. Most ideally, I'd like to see green, sometimes orange, but we'll work with what we got and hope that this goes well. Blue, okay. So I can use blue to my advantage to a degree by getting the hits off these balls to charge up my special bar a bit quicker. Okay, running out. Alright, green, that'll do. Going green against a time, shouldn't be far off now. Time! That felt pretty good. I will admit, that felt pretty good. I'm curious. What is my time? 33:37. I don't want to say it. I've got to, ain't I? I don't want to say it. That is an official new world record. I hate to officially say that. I prefer to say PB, but unfortunately I've got no other side to say it, so that is official PB. Oh, well, official world record, sorry. I'll take it. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. Oh, home button, a bit early. So yeah, hope you enjoyed yourselves with that one. Later on I will be back with this game again, but except we'll be using EX character Shantae. So if you enjoyed that run and you'd like to see the run done with a different character, which actually involves a couple more bits of areas in the run, feel free to tune in later on. And with that, I best say I am out for now. Cheers, take care, and hope you had a good time.